Welcome back, dear viewers. You're still watching Nile Cruise from a very distinguished, special place here in Cairo, from the cathedral in Abbasiyah, dear viewers, comprised of Muslim and Christian leaders and shared by Al-Azhar Grand Imam and the Pope of the Coptic Orthodox Church. The family house was established in October of the year 2011. Now that almost 10 years after the establishment of the House of the Family, a senior Al-Azhar official is suggesting that it becomes a model to be emulated in the rest of the Arab world. The question of what it did achieve in Egypt becomes inevitable. And to know more about this, dear viewers, and about the family house, we're honored to host Asmaa Elzieny, official of Foreign Relations and International Cooperation at Education Development Center of Al-Azhar International Students. Very good day, and it's a pleasure to have you with us in today's episode of Nile Cruise, and it's always our utmost pleasure to have you with us. How are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. It's totally mine to be with you always.
Okay, celebrating, of course, the Christmas and the New Year. We wish you a very happy Merry Christmas and a very happy New Year.
Yes, I wish everyone watching us today a very happy New Year and a Merry Christmas for those who are celebrating this time. I'm always happy to be in this magnificent place. So happy to be with you and to be here.
Could you please tell us why was the family house established?
Okay. The idea of establishing the family house goes back to the Grand Imam when he was on a visit for the Pope Shenouda III, offering his condolences on the death of some Christians in the accident of the Church of the Senate 2011. The idea came to the Imam and he suggested the idea to Pope Shenouda, and the idea was welcomed by His Holiness at that time, and they discussed a lot of details until the family house, the Egyptian family house, was issued by the decision of the Prime Minister at that time. It came to light.
Family house managed to put an end to a number of sectarian disputes and to deal with the consequences of terrorist attacks. What was the latest dispute in which the family house interfered?
Actually, dealing with social matters was one of the main concepts that the family house dealt with since its beginning, and the sectarian disputes is one of the biggest problems that facing the Egyptian community, especially in some areas like Upper Egypt and other areas. So the family house took the initiative to solve these, could say, which unsolved problem in some communities, because it is like stronger than a creed. For some, they consider it a part of their dignity. Once they face one of these problems, they take it seriously. They are not listening to some discussing whatever said to them. So the family house did a great effort to overcome this problem. We could see Al-Azhar professors and scholars and even some Christian figures meeting with people who are not able to discuss their ideas openly about this area of dispute, about being so offensive, not accepting the other, of whatever religion, not accepting the other. So the family house really played a very remarkable role in this area, especially in Upper Egypt. I can mention number of incidents that were solved. If we're left, they could cause disasters. But alhamdulillah, they managed to solve it peacefully on the two parts, Muslims or Christians.
That's great. Would you tell us about the steps taken in the popular level to promote the values of coexistence?
Yes. The value of coexistence was also another of the main values that the family house
worked on.
Yes. The family house has like agreements with some of ministries and universities and public places like clubs and areas where they go to meet everyone to gather children and youth to listen to what they are saying about the importance of being to live together in peace. We lived for 100 years, Egyptians lived for 100 years, not discussing what their neighbors, who are their neighbors. We have Muslims and Christians living peacefully for years. What happened to the Egyptian society lately يعني disturbed the feeling of peace that we enjoyed for years. So this is one of the main efforts that could be praised for the family house. They revived the feeling of coexistence, that we all are Egyptians, we live together. It's never, you can go to any hospital. If you see a doctor, you never ask, is a doctor is a Muslim or Christian, to to schools, to universities, to all public places. This value is one of the main values that the family house was successful to revive.
Ms. Asmaa, the Egyptian family house also involves Muslim and Christian youths in activities that are not related to religion, such as charity, sports, arts, and etc. Would you tell us more about these activities and their significance?
Some of the last events that the family house organized was related not to a religious problem. All of us know about the problem of increasing number of divorce cases in all families, whether Muslim or Christians. This was an area which the family house managed to hold a lot of events in different places, like I told you before, in clubs, in youth centers, in schools, in universities, for people to discuss this very serious problem which affected the whole Egyptian community lately, and also the issues of women, empowering of women and giving them their full rights. This also another area which is they managed to organize events a lot about.
Where are the main cities or places other than Upper Egypt that you feel that the family house made difference with the, for example, women empowerment, etc.?
To mention Alexandria is a very active area for the family house, organizing events for youth and for women especially. And also in Matruh, Marsa Matruh, there are about 19 headquarters, 19 branches for the family house in different Egyptian governorates. Of the most active are Matruh and Alexandria.
And how do you evaluate the awareness of the women in Matruh?
It's improving. It's not yet. It's not at the best state, but it is improving, thanks to the campaigns that they are organizing every now and then, the events, like conferences and these events, especially for not fully educated women.
Are these campaigns through the family house?
Part of them in cooperation with other authorities, yes.
Some of them are in coordination with the family house.
Especially with some ministries and some non-governmental organizations.
Okay, perfect. A family house organized several meetings for youths in different governorates across Egypt to clarify the similarities between Islam and Christianity. Why is the family house keen with youth?
Youth is future. Everyone is keen on youth because youth is future. The youth have the right to understand fully that the Egyptian state is keen on them. Taking care of youth is taking care of our future. The majority of Egyptian community are in the age of youth, young men and young women. It's very important that they notice that they are at the heart of our country. Everyone is taking care of them. Headed by President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, all effort is directed toward this youth.
Okay, again, how do you evaluate the awareness of youth when it comes to the similarities between the Muslims and the Christians?
In this area, much better. It's coming to be much better, alhamdulillah. I noticed
or are
this.
they already aware of the similarities? Or are you helping
Not
them
fully
be aware,
but they are ready to improve. If they are tackled correctly, they are addressed in a wise way, in a smart way, they can improve much better.
Family House works on changing misconceptions about the difference between Muslim and Christians through different demonstrations of unity that would gradually affect average citizens. Would you tell us more about this?
If I were to mention, I wouldn't only mention the efforts that are done for youth here in Egypt, for Egyptians who are Muslim and Christians. I would praise the efforts which are done for Egyptians outside of Egypt. The Ministry of Foreign of Egyptian outside
of Egypt,
yes.
Abroad?
Abroad, yes. The Egyptian, the second and third generation who are brought up in other
abroad.
countries, yes.
such as the United Kingdom, the United States,
American, different parts of the world. Egypt is paying much attention to making them notice what has been done in Egypt for youth and for them in the countries they are living there. The family house is taking part in cooperation with some ministries and offering them a lot of courses, training courses, events to make them connected to Egypt with its spirit. You know that here in Egypt there is something so special about Egyptian, which is their spirit. As I told you, we live for years. We lived for years in peace and coexistence, not discussing what we are doing to our Muslim neighbors or Christian neighbors. The youth who are brought up outside, maybe they missed this part. So the Egyptian state is keen on making them notice this difference, attaching them to their country more. And of course here inside.
Ms. Asmaa, of course, we all know that the Azhar University and the all Muslim sheikhs here in Egypt are responsible for exporting Islam to the entire world. The role of family house in this very important task, do you play any role?
Of course, yeah. Making the youth notice the difference, what all these achievements that are done in Egypt is duty of everyone, scholars,
the role of the youth and the family house in exporting Islam and making people aware of Islam abroad. The family house plays this role?
Yes, it plays this role perfectly. Let me mention something which is very important. The youth of other countries are here in 10,000s. Because we have
they study at the Azhar University.
At Azhar University, not only at Al Azhar University, at other universities. At Al Azhar, we have like 50,000 international students from 137 countries. This is a wealth that we can make them play a very effective role for Islam inside and outside when they go back to their countries. This what the family house is playing a role. In defending and trying to training these and giving them a lot of training about what they do when they go back. Not very often, but they do some of the effort. Of course, the main effort is done by Al Azhar officially, but also the family house, the Egyptian family house, is trying to give a part in this.
Perfect. This implies on the students here in Egypt. When we come to discuss exporting Islam to the entire world, the role of the family house in exporting Islam to those that are abroad, not in Egypt.
This huge number, yes, this huge number of non-Egyptians is expected when they go back to spread the moderate ideas they got from here. Plus, Al Azhar also is organizing events directly to the Muslim youth all around the world. Not only for our international students here, in cooperation with the Egyptian embassies outside and some other bodies.
Dr. Asmaa, from your point of view, was the family house able to promote the principles of citizenship and coexistence among Egyptians?
Of course, immensely. Me, myself, I benefited a lot of meeting some Christian friends during some events that was organized by the family house. I got a very dear friendship with them. Of course, the family house managed in settling that feeling of only having friends of my religion or my ideas. They managed to do this.
Okay. And do you think that this model, the family house, should be emulated in the rest of the Arab world?
Yes, it deserves to be emulated. It's not me who's saying this. I hear this myself from some Arab friends,
countries
from other,
and Arab people?
Especially people who suffered from this sectarian disputes in their countries.
Okay. How facilitated is it to do such a model in the Arab world?
I believe they want to.
And are there any obstacles that face?
You mean to transfer the experience?
Yes, of course.
I believe they are willing to do this, but they are willing to do this on
here at the Azhar. Sorry to interrupt you. Here at the Azhar University, they're willing to promote this in the Arab world?
Of course, Al Azhar is always willing to transfer experience about any kind of knowledge, any kind of experience to whoever willing to receive this. And most of Arab countries are very willing to receive that help, but they want to do this on a very official level, on the right way, so that they guarantee this, the experience when transferred, it is successful.
Perfect. One last question. What are the most remarkable achievements of the family house?
If I mention, they are a lot. As I told you, reviving the feeling of being all united. We are Egyptians who lived these hundreds of years enjoying that atmosphere of peace. Me, myself, I am very happy to have very dear experience and very dear friendship with some of the very special Christian friends. Yeah, I can mention situation in which they helped me in a way that no other one could help in their place. When they love you, they offer you everything and to the degree of their life. The family house, by gathering the Muslim and the Christian youth, they give them the chance to live that feeling that you can enjoy the love of whoever you offer him love.
We always, of course, we wrap up this interview with love and peace, always between all Muslims and Christians in Egypt and, of course, all over the world. Wishing you a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Dr. Asmaa Elzieny, Official of Foreign Relations and International Cooperation at Education Development Center for Al Azhar International Students. We thank you so much for joining us in today's episode of Nile Cruise. Thank you so much for sharing this very special occasion from a very special place. And, of course, thank you very much for your informative knowledge. And we always be happy to have you with us in every episode of Nile Cruise. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for everything. It's always a pleasure to be here. See you, inshallah.
Dear viewers, this was the segment of Nile Cruise. Stay tuned. We'll be back again.